Well, g'day tubes, how's you hanging? Not too bad here. I just wanted to speak a little bit on my health situation. You know how in some of the videos past I keep saying, oh, I'm not feeling too good and this has been going on, blah, 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 blah. Well, I like to bring her down and show you what is, hopefully they diagnose what the problem is and what's been going on. Nothing major, I'm not going to croak hopefully right now, but someday we all will, right? But anyway, so I had I've been seeing my normal doctor, and I mean, he's mostly okay for doing basic stuff kind of thing. I don't know if they're not training doctors to do the full spectrum of everybody's whatever they could have nowadays, but my doctor doesn't seem to do that. There's a lot of things where he's like, oh no, we wouldn't test for that. I'm like, what? Like one was my vitamin D level. Oh no, we don't test for that. I'm like, really? So I had to pay for that. And that ended up coming out fine. I started seeing a naturopath doctor, which is more natural stuff, we'll say, rather than, oh, you just need antibiotics. They'll try to figure out what's going on and try to, heal you with natural stuff, we'll say, or herbs and stuff, or whatever you want to call it, natural stuff, right? Anyway, so I've been seeing them for a while, and they've got me on some omega-3 fish oil kind of stuff with fortified with vitamin D as well, which is, I guess, good. Still got all these problems. Like, I've had psoriasis for over 10 years now, and none of the doctors, even the skin doctor that we have in town here, he's like, no, we'll give you this stuff. What was it? It was called methotrexate, which is a cancer drug. I'm like, what? They wanted to suppress your immune system and then maybe your body would kind of restart itself, right? I'm like, I'm not going to take like a chemotherapy drug here to try to figure out what's wrong with me. Like, can't you figure out what's wrong with me? So that was a total flop. I've had, for my psoriasis, hang on a sec here. Give me 1 second here. I got to find a special stuff. And it temporarily works. It's this stuff here. And it's in a tube. And this is I don't know if I can get it's called clobetasol. This is it here anyways. So that my doctor recommended, that I put this on the spots. Well, this is a steroid cream. And that's not really good for you because you can actually kind of absorb too much of that stuff, and it's really bad. That elevates your, might not be right here, the cortisol levels or something in your body that's really bad for you. And it takes your body a long time to process that through. Okay. What else was from the years past? So originally I had passed 2 kidney stones, which really puts a tremendous strain and stress on your body. You don't realize that until after, which was my thing. Some people it may not affect at all, but me it did. I was fine going nuts back and forth, up and down, straight ahead, back and forth, before these happened. And what it ended up happening was it put me into my body into such a stress that it sent me into like which I guess I know now was like a depression. It messed everything up, like big time. So my doctor before, my doctor now, he's actually dead now, so that's why I've got my new doctor now. And then I've got the naturopath doctor too. So my other doctor who's dead, I was just beat right out. I was just wore right down to nothing, Just, I don't know, something was really weird. Like I felt like I was dying like all the time. Basically depression. Never really had any anxiety before that I seen. Maybe my wife saw it, but I felt great before. So I had these 2 kidney stones, and basically that was a pain on my right side, right in the back, and I'm like, oh man, what is this? I couldn't breathe. You're like, oh man, he couldn't breathe or nothing, right? It was just wicked pain. This like someone had taken a fork and like just jabbing it in and twisting it right in the back. And then all of a sudden, I guess it was starting to move down that urethra tube or uritic tube or whatever it's called, which is a little wee tiny tube. Sometimes they don't get through there. And it worked itself down, and all of a sudden it's like, oh man, now it feels like someone's kicked me in the things on the front here, right? The family jewels on the front, and then it just kind of went away. I'm like, oh, well, that was kind of weird, but stress like you wouldn't believe, like sweating and everything, just, it was horrible. Trying to drink water, which maybe helped it come through or maybe made it worse, I don't know. So anyways, yeah, so I passed 2 kidney stones. The second one started, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to the hospital. I don't know what's going on here. By the time I got to the hospital, went through all our stupid healthcare crap and got checked in and got into the emergency room there, it had passed again. And then I've been fine ever since without kidney stones. So anyways, that's, I think, what originally started it. But that put my body in such a stress that I was in, like, depression. And I thought that because one of the sides on my chest here, I had like for some reason, like a ring, like a red ring, and I kind of thought it was like a tick bite or something. The symptoms that I looked up kind of looked like I had Lyme's disease. So I'm like, So my doctor, I don't know if I'm just too persistent looking stuff up. I like to doctor myself if I can. But that's probably not a good thing, but because he never tested me for Lyme's disease. He's like, oh, here, we'll give you this antibiotic here, and that's what they prescribe to, for Lyme's disease. Instead of actually testing me if I had Lyme's disease, he just gave me this because I'm like, yeah, whatever, just give me something, and he's like, okay, yeah, take this. So it ended up being doxycycline. Doxycycline is a very, very heavy-duty antibiotic, which I do believe wiped out my entire gut flora, which is like your good and bad bacterias in your guts and, like all your intestines and stuff that helps to do, to do your food. Well, I don't remember times and stuff now, but it wasn't too long after that I started getting, actually this spot on my head right here is kind of the first one I noticed. I think I went to see about that, and he's like, oh, that's just a skin blemish thing. Okay, nothing. And then all of a sudden I'm getting some, I honestly don't remember where I got the next spots. I think I got some little spots on my legs and stuff. And I think I went to see him about that too, and I think he was the one that started to prescribe this stuff. And it kind of works, but you got to keep putting it on. So, I mean, that's just treating the thing on the top. That's not treating, like, what's actually going on. And I'll tell you in a few minutes what is actually going on. And I'm actually starting treatment tonight for it. So hopefully this treatment works, or helps to work anyways. So, started getting spots on my legs. So he gave me this stuff, and then, okay, and then all of a sudden I noticed a couple of spots on my knee, and then on my head, up like on the back of my scalp and stuff. And I still got a couple, I don't know if you can see it, but I got a couple up there. I've still got these spots on my elbows, on both elbows. And right on my knees is about the worst spot. So there's that elbow there. It's not too bad looking, but you can see the redness, right? So this, if you don't kind of keep it washed off or whatever, moisten every once in a while, it'll actually build up skin there. And then, like, it's kind of gross. You can scratch it, and I'll tell you what, these spots, you probably shouldn't scratch them, but if you ever had like I got an itch, it's gone, right? Just like that when you scratch it, oh, it's gone. It is so freaking itchy because I guess the skin's like, coming off, the new one coming up. Basically what psoriasis is they still don't know, or what really causes it, but I think I know what might cause mine, is this imbalance of gut bacteria. Psoriasis is like an inflammation, basically. So what this stuff here is supposed to do is calm the inflammation, which it does. It does work, but then it just comes up again, right? So you haven't gone inside and fixed the source. That's kind of like changing your oil by sticking a little tube down the dipstick and then sucking a bit of oil out and then just not really fixing what's inside, right? I got some oil out, but not all of it. So anyways, got all these spots on me, and like I say, I went to the, what was he now? He's a dermatologist in town here. He basically just wanted to give me like cancer drugs. I'm like, no, and they're really expensive too, like 10 grand every 6 months. I'm like, oh yeah, and it doesn't work, no thanks. So I didn't go down that road, and it probably wouldn't have done anything because it would have probably come back. because of what they found here. Anyways, so kidney stones caused a stress on my body, which simulated. If I left it alone, I might have come back all right. I don't know. I needed something for the stress to relax the body again or whatever, you know, and get things smoothed out. It probably would have been fine, but he gave me the doxycycline antibiotic, which is super strong. Like, it was really bad, really strong stuff. And it didn't seem to really fix anything. It just kind of, I started feeling better, but then it all of a sudden come back again, just like that. But that antibiotic destroyed all my gut flora. And this is like well over 10, 12 years ago now, at least, since this has happened. I had spots too, and then they kind of disappeared. I've only got these spots, a few on my head here, and then a couple on my knees, and that's about it now. So I mean, it's bad, but it's only about maybe 5% of my body, which is good. Nothing that I've seen on my back, anyways, which is good. So anyways, yeah, where are we now in this story? Been to my doctor a few times, and they're like, we don't know what causes it, we can't do anything about it. So I'm like, okay. So this naturopath sent me for, and it was an expensive test too, I had to pay for the test itself, and then for them, I guess, to do it. Food sensitivity tests, IgG and IgA. So one is, I can't remember what they are now, I'm not the doctor, but one is IgG, I know, I did look it up, I can't remember now, but it's just basically tests your sensitivities and your proteins or something that react to these different foods. Everything actually come back good. I'm going to kind of go through this here. So dairy is really bad for me, apparently, probably because, and that's something to do with the gut bacteria, because of that. Probably because right now my gut bacteria is still messed up, and there's a lot of bacterial stuff in milk, right? So it doesn't, I don't digest that too well, but whey, W-H-E-Y, is the worst. So they rate this from a 0, which is a very, very, very low, to a 4, which is extreme high. Casein, I'm not even really sure what that is. That was a 1, almost not quite a 2. Cheddar cheese was a 0, all about this much to the 1. This, this much for the whole thing. Quarter inch from 1, we'll say. Cow's milk was middle of 2. Goat's milk, oh, I hate goat's milk. That's probably why it's fine, because I do not like goat's milk. It's so nasty. Was barely in the 0. But then the whey was up to into the 3. So dairy's not good. So I got to try to avoid a lot of dairy while I do my fix, which I've got a bottle of stuff here. I didn't bring it with me, but she prescribed this. Well, she not prescribed, wasn't a prescription. Oh man, that's the other thing, is the brain fog. Not the fog, but just the brain doesn't work. She recommended this stuff that I take, so I'm gonna try it tonight. Apparently when this, well, I'll tell you this in a second anyways. Grains, legumes, and nuts. Everything was good except chestnut. Chestnut is the middle of 1. And pecans was the middle of 1. Corn, gluten was good apparently. Not even hardly registered. Green beans, green pea, everything else. Rye, soybeans, spelt, walnut, wheat, and white rice was all. Oat was about almost to the middle of 1. Vegetables, everything was good except garlic, which is almost breaking into 1, so that's still considered very low apparently. Asparagus, avocado, beet. Oh, I hate beets too. Ugh, it tastes like dirt. Cabbage, carrots, cauliflower, everything. Pumpkin, onion, green bell pepper, sweet spinach, sweet potato, tomato, and white potato were all in the 0s. Grains, legumes, and nuts, we did that already. Yep, sorry. Fish. I don't even know that word. Fish stuff. Stuff from the ocean. Don't like fish anyway, so that's probably a good thing. Clam, cod was good. Halibut was good. Lobster, salmon, scallop, shrimp, sole, tuna, and trout. Wouldn't eat any of those anyways, because I do not like the taste of fish. We're all in the 0s. Crab, though, was creeping into number 2. Interesting, eh? Crab. Ooh, wouldn't eat any of that anyways, but yeah, so 0 is very low, 1 is low, moderate is 2, 3 is high, and 4 is very high. So nothing, I didn't have anything super bad there except whey. Whey was into 3, which is high. So this is just a food test here, and if you have any like allergies or anything to anything, or any sensitivities, I think they call it. Eggs, meat, and poultry, everything was good. Beef, chicken, egg white, chicken, egg yolk, duck, egg, lamb, pork, turkey was all zeros. Herbs and spices, ginger was not quite to 1, and oregano was sort of in the middle-ish of 0. Miscellaneous, baker's, brewer's yeast, button mushrooms was almost a number 2, and I love mushrooms. Man, all the stuff I like, right? Cane sugar was 0. Cocoa bean chocolate, yes, was 0. Coffee bean was 1, middle of 1, which was interesting. Flaxseed honey was 0, 0. Sesame seed was a high one though, starting into the 2s. Sesame seeds, really. Fruits, apple, apricot, banana, blueberry was almost a 1, which is weird because I really like blueberries too. Cranberries, grape, grapefruit, lemon, olive, orange, papaya, peach, pear, pineapple, plum, raspberry, and strawberry were all 0. But a little bit of a sensitivity to almost to 1. Still considered low, I guess. But now, the thing they did find, which I think has caused all my problems in my head and my heart. I've had problems with my heart with the atrial fibrillation, which is basically the signals signaling your heart wrong, the electrical signals wrong, and it's making your heart, like, instead of like this, it's kind of like the bottoms, and it, you know, it's kind of out of sync, which I have been to the hospital before too, and they actually kept me for like 2 days there just to keep an eye on me. I've had Holter monitors, I've had ECG things done, I've had ultrasounds done. That's another thing. They ultrasounded my liver in this area because I said I was having discomfort kind of under my ribs here, and he's like, well, there's really nothing there. So they ultrasounded me anyways, and they ended up finding I had a fatty liver, a non-alcoholic fatty liver from eating too much crap for over the years, and apparently my gallbladder's full of gallstones. So that could be all a problem with this next thing I'm going to tell you, which is very interesting what they found. So, and it's probably come from the gut destruction from those antibiotics way back. And I've had probiotics through the years too, and you know, I didn't really seem to change anything. Still had all this skinny. I even got them on my hand, like you've seen them in my videos. My nails, if you see them, they're all screwed up too, except these ones, they're dirty, but they seem good. This is another problem here too. I don't know if you can see with this one here how it's kind of like got the white spot. I've had the odd time where look at this, like I can pull the nail kind of off the nail bed. It's kind of nasty. Sorry for all the gross stuff, but this is what's going on. I've had them where, you know, you can just pick that right up and then you get a big spot under there and it's like, what the heck? Anyways, what seems to have happened was it destroyed my gut, all my good bacteria, I guess, in my gut, and it let the bad bacteria kind of take over. So Candida is the growth of your gut bacteria, which is basically a yeast. And I am the one test, the IgA is the middle of 3, and the IgG test, I think I got that right. Yeah, the IgG test is almost a 4. So I am nearly a stage 4 of overgrowth of this yeast stuff in my digestive system, which probably has contributed to these psoriasis spots because it messes everything up, right? When your bacteria is not digesting your food, right? And yes, I've had problems with the constipation. Let me just hang on a sec here. Like, everybody has problems with constipation every once in a while, but not for that long. Let me me just look this up here. It's not vaginal candida. Holy jeez, I hope not. I'm trying to find some symptoms and we'll kind of relate. Yeah, broad spectrum antibiotics is the very... Oh, come on, your stupid ads. Yep, right there. Broad spectrum antibiotics. That's what that one is. So, antibiotics are needed to fight a stubborn infection or kill an offending bacteria in your system. The problem with antibiotics is with overusing them, which is was a super high dose too. Overusing them is often creating antibiotic resistance. That they don't just kill the bad bacteria; they kill the good ones too. The good bacteria in your system are responsible for digestion and keeping Candida under control. Mine is out of control now. So the bad ones have taken over, and the good ones are pretty much not there. So that's why I'm not digesting my food properly, I suppose. Antibiotics can make your body a literal breeding ground for Candida. Where's the symptoms? Chronic fatigue. 1. Mood disorders. That's 2. Reoccurring vaginal urinary tract infections. Never had a urinary infection, thank goodness, or oral thrush. Sinus infection. I don't really... Sinus infection is when I lay down, though. I can't breathe. Like, the one side, if I'm laying on this side, it'll all block up down here. Like, everything flows down to here, so it doesn't get out. So something's not right in there. Intestinal distress. Intestinal distress is one of the more uncomfortable Candida symptoms. Persistent flatulence, burping, and bloating. Not too much burping. Constipation or diarrhea. Usually mine was constipation. Stomach cramps, not too bad. Maybe caused by lack of healthy bacteria in your digestive gut. When yeast overtakes the intestines, healthy bacteria are undermanned and cannot fight off the infection alone when the bacteria in your gut is out of balance, which mine definitely is. It's known by diabosis or something. Many individuals experience a dynamic relief of chronic intestinal distress when effectively treating Candida infection. Next one is brain fog. Memory. Trying to remember simple things like, where did I just put my phone down? Really? Oh, it's in my hand. No, not that bad, but really? All the time working in the workshop. I could have a screwdriver or something. I put it down somewhere and I go and get something else I need to get. Like, where's the screwdriver? What the heck? I seriously just had it. That's part of the brain fog thing. Along with mood changes and chronic fatigue, brain fog is often overlooked as one of the Candida symptoms. However, Candida overgrowth can cause a lack of focus, poor physical coordination, difficulty in concentrating on tasks, and poor memory. Me. Skin and nail and fungal infections. Athlete's foot and fungal infections in the toenail are common yeast infections which stem from the same strain of Candida. Continued infections may be a sign that you have a systematic Candida infection. Yeah. Doesn't say anything about the psoriasis here, but I bet you 100% if I get this under control, this Candida overgrowth, that's psoriasis will eventually probably go on its own too, so it'll all come back to normal. Things are normal again. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot more. Mood disorders, chronic fatigue, sinus infections, intestinal disorder, brain fog, skin, and hormonal imbalance. I don't know if I get that or not, but another one is sleep. Yeah, big time. Let me just see if I can find another site here with some more symptoms. So it's fitting like all my symptoms perfectly. It's kind of weird that nobody else has found this. Nobody else except her has found this. You know, she sent me for this test. So feeling tired, worn down, suffering from chronic fatigue or fibromyalgia. Difficulty concentrating, poor memory, lack of focus, ADD, ADHD, and brain fog. Severe seasonal allergies. I've never been allergic to anything, which is good. Strong sugar and refined carbohydrate cravings. This Candida loves sugar. So if you ever eat your dinner and you're like, oh man, a nice bowl of ice cream would be good, or some cake or something, that's probably what that is. It's saying, ooh, I need more sugar, and it fuels it, right? That and any kind of like yogurt. I forgot the name of that. I hope I get my brain back. Fermented food stuff. Oh, the Candida just loves that stuff. So anything like that, you got to cut it out. Sugar, you got to cut it out. Milk, anything like that, you got to cut it out. Irritability can get pretty good sometimes. I don't show you guys that, but sometimes I get, why did that guy do that? I just want to kill him, right? It's like, wow, really? Mood swings, anxiety, or depression. I've had those come and go over this trek, over this 10 years too, right? Digestive issues, including bloating, constipation, and diarrhea. Skin issues such as eczema, there it is, psoriasis, psoriasis, hives, and rashes. There you go. White coat on the tongue. I never had that before, which is good because that used to be nasty. Redness or discomfort in the mouth. Never had that. Sore throat. Not usually at all. Difficulty swallowing or cracking the corners of the mouth. No, I've been good for that. Skin and nail fungal infections, which include athlete's foot and toenail fungus. Don't think I've really had that. Just the nails peeling off. That's about all they give us here. Mood disorders. Recurring infections, chronic fatigue. Yeah, it's a lot of times it's like 3 o'clock. I'm like, in the afternoon, I'm like, I'm going to close my eyes for a minute. I have no problem falling asleep at nighttime when I go to bed, but the staying asleep has been really bad. It's actually the last few nights has been better though. So, autoimmune diseases. What is Candida? Candida is a type of yeast. Normally, the healthy bacteria in the digestive tract balance the presence of Candida. However, many people have overgrowth of Candida. If you suspect you may have an unbalanced digestive system, you can visit your blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that guy. So that's what I think has been causing all my symptoms for like the last 10 or 12 years anyways. But hopefully I can get this treatment going here and get things back on track. And I do feel like I've kind of neglected you guys for the last while. I'm not really feeling like wanting to do videos. Oh, the other one, sorry, just to go back again. The other one is joint pain and lower back pain, which I've had as well for like a year now. I've been fighting a sciatica on this back side, and it's actually gotten better too in the last few days. So, oh man, it just comes and goes, but everything else was low, very low, which is good. Chestnuts, very low, very low. Everything else was good except moderate for sesame seeds. Don't ask me, but anyways, yeah, I'm going to do this treatment. It's basically a pill a day. It's supposed to kill the Candida off, which is good. And it is a natural stuff, so hopefully it works. I think there's a lot of garlic in it, which apparently I have a sensitivity to, and oregano in it, and some other stuff too in it. So it was expensive too, but if it works, that's fine. It's good. If it stays away too, that's even better, but I bet you it'll probably come back eventually. But once you get her killed off, though, you got to start taking your probiotics to build up your good gut bacteria again, and then should be fine. Normal life again. It'd be so nice. I honestly don't really know and remember what it feels like to be living normal and, not like kind of on edge all the time and, worrying all the time and feeling like crap all the time and fighting this crap all the time on these spots and just being healthy. I don't remember what it feels like, so it'll be nice to get back to that, right? What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, so when you're taking this meds, the natural stuff, she says you're probably going to feel like you're going to have the flu. It should only last about a week though, and basically that's because the Candida is dying, and it feels like your whole system is just like in flu state. It's like, great. Looking forward to that. Can't wait. Oh man, I hate having the flu. And she never said you'll be barfing and stuff too, but it's probably just you're gonna feel like run down and this feeling like crap while this Candida in you is dying. It's basically a yeast overgrowth. It's not like it's like a little guy in there that's like, oh, I'm gonna eat all your food and you're not gonna get nothing from it and you're gonna feel like crap and blah blah blah. Basically that's what it is though, but it's a yeast. So hopefully we get this under control though. But anyways, I guess that's it for today. That's just a little update on my health thing and for what's been going on for all this time. I had no clue I had this going on. I never even thought about that, and I might have got my actual doctor to test for that, but he might have told me, oh no, that's not something we test for. But who knows? I don't know. She's figured it out anyways, hopefully. So yeah. But anyways, thanks again for watching. Hopefully I didn't gross you out with too much crap on this, but just wanted to keep you guys in, you know, the loop of what's going on, and I'll keep you updated too on how the progress is going. Hopefully it's good and not bad. But anyways, thanks again for watching. We'll catch you all later, and you guys have a good day. If you got any of those symptoms like I just mentioned there, go get yourself tested. It's probably just a simple, it's probably just a simple blood test. That's what I did, and this tested for all the food stuff too. I mean, you could have that too if you wanted to figure out kind of what sensitivities you have sensitivities to. It's kind of good to know, right? But anyways, thanks again. Catch you all later, and you guys have a good day. Look after yourselves. I'm trying my best to do for me too.